Hi sweethearts, editing Klaudia here. So the video you're about to watch is incredibly blurry. Clearly the nature is taking the forefront as per usual, which is completely fine, but yeah, it is super juicy, super good. So please enjoy it as a contemplation or a meditation rather than a visual experience, and write down in the comments below what you thought about it.
Hi sweethearts, Claudia here. I am passionate about following the threads of aliveness in this moment in my life and sharing them with you wherever that may be, whether that's a one-to-one here on YouTube, on Instagram, or in a live workshop. So I'm often trying to take what is alive for me in this moment and make something beautiful out of it. So taking the raw, messy material and in this form of a video, in this form of expression, gifting it as an offering into the space to name what is currently moving through me, in the hopes that sharing that makes somebody out there feel less alone, makes somebody out there feel less like they are losing their mind, feel less like they are completely on their own in this vast chaos of life. And I hope to open up a conversation, to hold space for the vast emotions of our humanness, and to step more deeply into the present moment with courage and excitement, and learn to do that and allow ourselves to do that. So today I'm going to talk about heart-centered leadership. To me, one of my core values in life is to be a heart-centered leadership. To be a heart-centered leader, even in all areas of my life, whether that's in my relationship to myself, whether that's in my community, in my business, in my finance, in my friendships, in my creativity. To me, this archetype of a heart-centered leader feels very healthy. It feels thriving. It's something that inspires me. It's something that pushes me and wants me to step more deeply into the fullness of who I am. So I want to take a moment right here, right now, and share what that means for me to be a heart-centered leader, in the hope that it inspires and moves something in you. So through this conversation, I invite you to take deep breaths, to be very aware of what's moving and shifting throughout your body, so that you can begin to unravel the story and begin to occupy your body more deeply, and to discern the words that I'm speaking, to be able to decipher and uncover the gold, the juice, the magic, and the medicine that I'm offering throughout this video in your own unique way. So don't take everything that I say as gospel. Run it through your own system and say, hey, actually this doesn't resonate. This is what I'm more aligned with. So I'm inviting you throughout to always check in with yourself and have that energetic feeling and that energetic response of, what does it mean and feel like for me to be a heart-centered leader, for example? What does success feel like for me? So before I offer you any of my words, any of my expressions, any of my invitations and curiosities and conversations, let's close down our eyes for a moment. If you're able to, if you're not on a move, take a moment to just drop in here, right now, fully. Recognizing our capacity for storytelling, story weaving, and truly recognizing the gift of the present moment and everything that it has to offer us right here, right now. And that so often we run away from this moment and search for something better, something other, because we don't want to fully experience here and now. So my invitation is for you to be the heart-centered leader in your life and to stop running, to meet this moment, to meet this present moment fully. Breath, focus on your breath, breath as your anchor, breath as your guide, breath as something that allows you to alchemize and move through. Breath that allows you to occupy and anchor into this present moment. Breath allows you to expand into the fullness of who you are. Right here, right now, anchor deep into the earth. Feel your roots. Feel yourself occupying your back body, your spine. Feel your entire back body, the back of your head, as if you were sitting back in your throne. Feel your sovereignty, feel your power. Nothing around you has to change and shift. But your entire day can be governed by the shift that you make right here, right now. So sink back into your bones, sink back into your soul, sink into those roots, reaching deeply into the grounding power of the earth. Feeling yourself steady and sturdy, that no matter what winds are shifting you in your reality, no matter what winds are of chaos and change are moving you, feel those deep roots. Feel the bark of the tree, the central channel of the tree that's holding you up with those big deep roots. And simultaneously feel the fluidity of the crown of the tree, the beautiful branches that are moving and dancing around, perhaps inviting a sway into your body, reaching up and opening up towards the sky. Feel what it feels like to be fully in your heart, to have that big, wide open heart that knows boundaries, that knows safety and protection, but it also knows that living from that deep, open, beautiful heart is the best way to live, because it's the best way to be truly alive and to meet the entirety of this moment. So anchor deep into the ground, reach high up into the earth, feel that pulse of your heart beat. Right here, right now, right here, right now, right here, right now, exactly as you are. You are already that heart-centered leader you have been asking for. You are already that powerful sovereign being, the creator, the creatrix. You are already it. And shifting to our back body, shifting to our anchors, shifting to our truth is a very important step in beginning that journey. That when we take our actions, when we lead, it is leading from that place of the deep heart. It is leading from that place of presence, of spaciousness, of rootedness. We can lead from stress and chaos and pushing and forcing, but what kind of leader do you want to be? I want to be a leader who has a spacious nervous system, who is aligned and centered. So a very important question that I have to ask myself often, what do I need to be, or what do I need to do rather, in order to show up as that? If I'm running around, constantly looking at my phone, spreading my awareness, spreading my energy from left to right, not finishing tasks, it's very difficult for me, for my system, to be aligned, to be present. and not to be so scattered in between different experiences and different emotions. For me, it's really important to take that energy from all around me and to weave it into my center. To alchemize anything that is around me in my energy field, to clear, cleanse, to let go, to come into stillness, to silence, to presence. That means to me that I like to move my body. I like to move with the energy of this moment. So if I'm getting emotions or physical sensations, if I'm feeling symptoms of depression, if I'm feeling confused, if I'm feeling like I'm lacking clarity, I want to move into a space of unraveling that, of taking that energy and finding a way to bring it back into the center. So that can be dance, that can be meditation, that can be a workout, that can be going for a run, for a walk. And I know that the moment I deny myself those things, when I focus on striving, pushing, oh my goodness, I have to do this, I need to do this, there's not enough time, I begin to create a reality of stress and forcing and distortion where my nervous system continues to collapse inwards, where my heart begins to shut down, where I begin to feel stress and agitation, and no matter what happens in my external reality, it feels like it's a fuse that's setting off this catalyst, this something that breaks me so that I can return to my center. So stepping into our power, stepping into leadership, part of it is recognizing our own patterns, our own cycles, our own habits, our own tendencies, and simultaneously, on the other hand, recognizing the habits, the practices, the vocabulary, the experiences that we need, that we require to feel nourished in our leadership, to feel spacious and to feel resourced. Wow, this wind is crazy. It's so beautiful. I have this stunning magnolia tree behind me, which is so nourishing. And I've watched this tree throughout winter. I've watched it blossoming and holding these beautiful tight buds, these flowers throughout the entirety of winter. Three or 4 months. And only in the last month they began to bloom open and sprout open. And I'm so mesmerized and fascinated. And in the last days, you go out into the garden and you notice this beautiful scent that is just so subtle and all pervasive. Is that the right word? All encompassing. It's everywhere. You can't miss it. You could miss it. If I was busy running around doing something else, I could very easily miss this beautiful experience that is right in front of my eyes. And so I've been watching this tree for the last months. I've been very emotionally invested in recognizing its beauty. And now that these beautiful flowers are beginning to fall, I feel elements of grief in my system. So this is part of me honoring what is in the present. And I'm noticing that I want to hold on. I want to keep the flowers. I want them to stay because they're so beautiful. And it's a really beautiful lesson for leadership, that oftentimes there's this energy of clinging and grasping and chasing, but that's not how life works. So in this moment, my leadership is asking me to honor the grief, to recognize the beauty, to hold the polarity, to make space for something new, something more beautiful to blossom from this tree, to recognize the abundance of nature as it's dropping these beautiful flowers and these petals, and for a moment it is gracing me with the most beautiful scent, this most beautiful subtle scent that I've ever experienced, and making space in my system for that to change and shift. We often want to hold on to beautiful experiences and often want to make them stay. And that's such a beautiful and human thing to have. But part of leadership for me feels like being in tune with the cycles of nature, being in tune with the cycles and the rhythms of creativity, with the rhythms of our life. So when it's time to let something go, we know that it's time to let something go, so we don't try to force it or change it or shift it or make it stay. Because nothing wants to stay if there's that energy of forcefulness around it and control. So nature can be a really beautiful teacher of leadership, of cycles and rhythms. And as a heart-centered leader, I want to be in tune with cycles and rhythms. And it feels this is such an important piece because I'm speaking about nature, right? But what are the cycles and the rhythms that are happening all around us? What are the cycles in our business? What are the cycles in our relationship? What are the cycles in our bodies? What is the signal? What is that? What is our environment speaking back to us? What is our field speaking back to us? And can we listen? Do we have space to listen? And this can be such a challenging thing, but also so fruitful because we are anchoring into the here and now. We are anchoring into reality. And in a world of escapism, in a world of desynthesizing, of numbness, of scrolling and abusing different substances in order to escape the here and the now, coming to the present moment can be a very courageous endeavor. Courage, core. I believe the etymology of the word courage stems from French, from the word for heart, right? Courage. I'm mixing things up now, but something along those lines. So, there's so much energy moving. I'm so excited about this topic because it's something that I have been trying to cultivate in my life and in my experience, and it takes so much momentum to be in this moment. It takes so much unraveling to fully open this beautiful gift of what it means to be a heart-centered leader. It means looking into the shadows. It means looking into those unconscious patterns. It means deciphering our habits, our creations, our life as it is here and now. And noticing the leader, the person, the individual that we have been up until this point, that we're part of this creation, that we're part of the story that made these things happen. So take a breath with me. There's so much energy moving. Come back to that space of the heart, of the center, of that central channel aligned to the core of the earth and aligned to that sky, to that North Star. Resource yourself for a moment. Resource yourself and clarity and understanding and knowing and peace and presence. I am exactly where I'm meant to be. There is enough time. I am my greatest asset. I belong. I am worthy. I was born worthy. If you're feeling a lot of fire, perhaps drop that into the earth And breathe in the stability, the slowness of that earth energy grounding into this moment. Part of being a heart-centered leader feels like recognizing the places that we act and we move from. What are we moved by? What are we moved towards? What is alive in this moment? Is there something that we are running away from? Is there something that we are running towards? So part of being a heart-centered leader is the gift of introspection, is the gift of discernment, is the gift of alignment, is the gift of vision. We already talked about presence, connection, habits, cycles, rhythms. Only you know what cycles and rhythms and habits support you. And those are usually things that are life-sustaining, life-giving. Yes, we can meet resistance. Yes, we can move through discomfort. But ultimately, we know that it is something that is life-giving, life-affirming. Gosh, there's so much moving in my body right now. And part of being a heart-centered leader for me in a woman's body is to live with a soft, open, spacious heart. I know the moments in my life where I'm leading from stress, from contraction, from forcing, from the mind rather than the body, and it hurts. It hurts me short term, and if I can't feel it short term, it definitely catches up for me. It catches up in forms of physical pain. It catches up in the form of migraines, of confusion, of things falling apart, of my cycle being off whack, of my digestion being off whack. So part of being a heart-centered leader for me is to listen to the cues of my body. Are you able to listen? If you have a pain in your knee, do you stop to take a moment to say, what do you need? Or do you keep pushing forward until your knee hurts so much that you can't move or you get an injury? Being a heart-centered leader to me doesn't mean that we push past what is, that we ignore this beautiful body, this beautiful temple, this beautiful vessel, but we learn to work in connection with it. So, whew. So being a heart-centered leader to me means that my ability to be fluid, to move between these various states of awareness and consciousness, to gather data and to alchemize them and integrate them into my system, into the action that I'm willing to take in the world. To be in this constant biofeedback loop, making sure that my environment is harmonious, both internally and externally, so that I can be the best woman that I can be, first and foremost to myself. There's so much talk about stepping into the archetype of the king and the queen. But before we try and govern others, before we try and control others, can we say with honesty and truth and authenticity that we are the best king or queen to our own domain, which is every single aspect of our lives, which is every single relationship in our lives, which is our bodies, our mind, our hearts, our spirit, our soul. Before And we obviously shouldn't even do that in the first place, to try and control other people. That doesn't usually turn out well. Yeah, controlling our partners, controlling what other people are saying, doing, controlling outcomes. Surrendering into leadership. That's a very big piece. Trusting, letting go, surrendering. Trusting that everything that is happening around us is serving our highest good and making it so. Even when something unfortunate or challenging happens, how can we take sovereign perspective and say, this is happening for me. I will not be a victim of my own circumstance. I will step into my power and take charge of this situation, alchemize it into gold, and utilize it as fuel. This is what I understand from Tantra. Taking everything that is happening around us and using it as fuel to expand our consciousness and our growth. Even if it's painful, even if it's unfortunate, even if it's challenging. So I want to work with some tangible things that we can do in order to decipher what being a heart-centered leader is. So today's video is more about activating, reawakening that ancient memory, that embodied feeling of what it means to be a leader. And the next video, I want to go deeper into the more tangible physical reality of what that looks like and how we can begin to take steps in order to learn how to be that heart-centered leader. So please tune into that. There's going to be a link below. And for now, take a moment to integrate this video. Instead of taking another step and filling yourself with information and consuming, take a breath to recognize if this is what you need, or if you need a few breaths to integrate this knowledge. We live in a society where it's easy to consume. I love consuming. I love finding nourishment. I love just taking life into my perception. But sometimes I notice that I'm so full up that I'm bursting at the seams and I actually can't take anymore. And I need to reintegrate, to feel how I feel about the things that I've consumed, and make my own, make up my own mind about them. So give yourself that gift of integration and meet me in the next video whenever you are ready.